Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the Halal Times YouTube channel. As we had discussed some time ago that we're going to start a series about the finances related with Masjid. So Alhamdulillah, today we have come up with another episode from the Halal Times which is related with this very topic. So what the topic of today's discussion is that basically what is the ruling of the mosque selling an unneeded item that had been donated for the sake of Allah as a waqf. The default ruling, brothers and sisters, concerning religious endowments, which is of course, as you all know, called waqf. What waqf is? Waqf basically is related with the items which are donated for the sake of Allah. If that they are not to be sold, in principle they should not be sold, and they should be used for the purpose for which they were donated. However, it has been narrated from Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu that he permitted transferring boulders from one mosque to another in Kufa due to their being needed for the other masjid. A number of fatwas have been issued by the permanent committee in Saudi Arabia allowing for the sale of mosques in America and of course in other non-Muslim countries as well. Of course, not just America, but in many other non-Muslim countries that have become, you could sell those mosques which has become too small for the needs of the community in order to buy a larger one, in order to buy a larger mosque. If that is the case, it must be even more permissible to use the building of one mosque as a collateral in the purchase of another mosque. Means, if the community has become larger and the existing mosque cannot fulfill the requirements of the community, then of course it's possible for the community to sell this mosque, the first mosque, to build a larger one, and of course use those funds which they have collected by selling this building to build another mosque. It's very much possible and there is no problem at all. This is one possibility, and the other possibility is that the first mosque could still be used for prayers, as this would be preferred to selling the old mosque. So it means it's possible that you build a larger mosque, but you still continue praying, still continue using the old mosque for dawah or for any other purposes related with the Muslim community, related with the religious obligations which we have to perform on regular basis. But if it's not possible for the community to keep it for whatever reason, of course, according to these fatwas, they could sell these mosques and use those funds to build another one, a larger one, which can effectively meet the needs of the community. Imam Ibn Taymiyyah wrote that it's permissible to change the condition of a religious endowment if an alternative is more suitable. For example, you could change the recipients of an endowment from the poor to jihad due to need. For example, if you got some money to donate and there is a war going on in the Muslim world, you could stop giving this money to the poor in your community and of course donate that very money to the mujahideen, to the army which is fighting against their enemies. And if that jihad is okay, then of course you could give that money there. Similarly, another important scholar, Usaymin rahmatullah alayhi, stated that if a mosque is no longer in need of its furniture, it may give that furniture itself to another mosque if possible. Otherwise, it may sell the furniture and use the proceeds for the mosque itself. So you see, we got the example of Hazrat Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu. Another example was from Imam Ibn Taymiyyah. Another scholar, he gave the same opinion. And based on the above, it's permissible to auction off in the mosque as a donated item as long as the proceeds go to the mosque, to this very mosque, or to any other charitable organization that will benefit Muslims collectively, not just individually, but collectively. But there are some conditions which must be adhered to. The very first condition which we got to meet while auctioning off any items which belongs to masjid, as far as the voices should not be raised above what is needed. It should be done at a time in which it will not disturb those offering prayers. It should not be done often, too often, such that the mosque becomes a place for people to purchase things of this worldly life. If that is the case, unfortunately, the mosque will lose end up losing its essential purpose of being a place of prayer and remembrance to Allah. The item auction must have been donated for the sake of the masjid, and the masjid is not in need of it. If that is the situation, then of course it will be more beneficial for you guys, for the community members, to auction it or to sell it to someone who is in need of that item and use the proceeds, use the money, that very money, to upgrade, to maintain, or for any other purpose related with the masjid. So I hope today's talk was beneficial to at least some of you, because the thing is, this is in common knowledge that we in our day-to-day life, we have to think about these issues. So that is the basic purpose of starting this series, and inshallah very soon we'll come up with another topic related with the finances of the masajid. So till then, inshallah, we would like to say salam to all of you, and thank you so much for listening to us. Salam alaikum.